Oh yeah. Um,
This is one of the times I'm glad I like to take meticulous notes.
Yeah, your character is a note person. My character is not. I write down, Penchel Kutra.
yes.
But
Not bad on the pronunciation either. Pretty damn close.
Sick.
Poncho Cusco.
But yeah.
This guy sort of strokes a very bushy beard. This is never heard of him.
Supposedly, he was a very powerful artificer. We're unsure what the cult would need with them, but that's who they're going after.
So, if they had one base of operations in the sewers, they're a small cult. They probably have more. I'll detach some guards to sweep the sewers as soon as possible. Is it safe to assume this cult is armed and dangerous?
They are.
Very
much so.
We have also learned that they have some sort of brainwashing capabilities. We do not know how many cultists are civilians.
Yeah.
They brainwashed one of our friends and currently have them and are using them for their dirty bidding.
Our friends.
So do with that as you wish.
He puts his hands behind his back and sort of hangs his head and says, I have little option but to, if this cult is as dangerous as you say, and your friend is anywhere near as powerful and skilled as the six of you have proven yourselves to be, if he's encountered,
there might be much of you guys left.
Exactly. I have to issue orders to my people to defend themselves with all necessary force, up to and including lethal. It's the only way my men are going to survive.
Sadly.
I will, however, also issue orders to avoid engagement at all costs. And the team I'm going to send down there is going to be handpicked as some of the stealthiest infiltration people I've got. Sometimes, to serve the light, one must walk in the shade.
But of course, that is the way of nature.
Yeah, Senku gives
Indeed.
the man a nod.
Indeed.
Just like imagine actually just like keenly watching the cat, like it's like somebody of nature.
Somebody attuned with nature.
Nestor sort of nudges you in the elbow, Nyaxor, and says, and sort of gestures in a sort of like what the heck manner towards Perrin. And what is Perrin? Chopped liver?
Oh, he's just like good to see another nature kind of person. He's just like watching in like interest. But yes, he knows Perrin is one too.
And out of character, I'm mildly confused because my Discord was like chopping up the entire conversation.
Yeah.
Until like the last 2 seconds.
Oh no.
I mean, I just updated my internet drivers and somehow it messed something up for you guys. I don't know. That's
Oof.
uncanny timing, but
Oof.
I mean, there's every possibility that the after effects of the tropical storm are affecting my
Yeah.
energy. My connection, thankfully, has remained strong.
And it's
Yeah.
not just you, son. It was everybody I was having just cut out.
Okay.
Possibly your side, probably.
Yeah. The only control I have over that is plugging it into the wall, and I plugged it into the only place I can.
Ooh.
Past that, I can only switch devices.
So, Lorenta looks at the six of you and says, "Our part in this mission is over. I suggest you all take some rest in the in your quarters at the academy. Miss Leafa, I will see to it an empty professor's chambers are prepared to accommodate you,
Thank
because
you.
there needs to be a discussion as to what to do next, and that needs to wait until tomorrow, when when clearer heads prevail."
indeed.
Wise thoughts.
So with that, you guys walk the 3 miles back to the academy. So for your description, big. Imagine Hogwarts Castle, but a huge chunk of the 9th and 10th floors is blown out.
Ooh.
Ooh.
And there's still some there's still some smoke, wisps of smoke coming out of some lower windows. Lorenta walks up with you and says, "I believe the first attack last night was to try and retrieve Nestor," and she gestures towards Nestor, "was to retrieve Raijin. And Leafa, you look clipped to a introductions haven't really been a thing. You guys have just been, oh hey, they know Lorenta, I know Lorenta. We're gonna walk with Lorenta and help people." So you guys have been sort of swept up in the whirlwind of rescues. Clipped to the waist of a man wearing half plate, clearly some level of magic there. And he's wearing half plate, but he's got a sort of light sandy brown wizard's hat, and a sort of slight whiff of ozone every time you get close. Clipped to his belt, looks like a great sword minus the sword part. It looks like just the hilt of a great sword is clipped to his belt.
Ah, another sunblade, huh?
No, this is Raijin. The hilt, and then you look, the hilt is very sort of stylized, where the top, or the pommel rather, is this billowing white, this billowing white, looks like a cloud that fades to darker and darker gray up until the top of the hilt, where it fans out even more. It's almost black, and a crossguard with interweaving yellow and blue stylized lightning bolts lance out from either side. And while I feed my cat, I think it's an appropriate time for the rest of you to describe your characters to Miss Lipa.
All right. Goes first.
I might as well. Lifa? My guy is named Senku, and Lifa gets to see Senku and his sort of whitish hair his hair sort of starts out at whitish towards the base, but as the spikes sort of travel, as his hair sort of spikes up, you see it go to green, like fade to green, and then to dark green at the tips. And he's got like 2 locks of hair that drape over his face.
Okay.
Have you ever seen Dr. Stone?
Stone. I don't think so. I can look him up.
Yeah, Senku Ishigami is a character from Dr. Stone, and basically, I've made him in D&D.
Ah.
I can send you a picture and I could maybe send you a DM about what he looks like.
Okay, yeah.
In fact, I actually have a picture that I actually have.
Does he look like Senku from... Because I'm seeing him now.
Yeah, that's basically him, except instead of the leather tunic, he's basically got, I think, full plate at this point.
Okay. And then, what kind of person is he?
Very much intelligent, and he's got the same personality as Senku from Dr. Stone, mixed a little bit in with my personality, like out of character.
Yeah.
Senku is extremely smart. Sometimes he cooks up some sort of scheme, and he's been prone to tactical planning that might not always go so well when it comes to getting himself hurt.
Oh,
One of the strategies I came up with shortly before you arrived was the intentional hellish rebuke. Where I basically charge up to an enemy, smack him with my hammer, then dance back a bit, invoke an attack of opportunity, and lash out with a hellish rebuke.
That was you. I heard about that one.
Yeah, that's one of my that was one of my go-tos, but it's turning into less and less of a good option because
things hurt.
Yeah.
Yep.
And as for the personality, Senku's basically got the really cool smarts, and he loves knowledge. And in fact, he's a neutral good. He's not chaotic good. He's not lawful good. He's neutral good.
He's a scientist in a world of magic.
Yeah, he's a scientist in a world of magic.
Nice.
Easiest way to describe him.
Suffice it to say, I have returned.
Excellent. So I have heard tornado. I am still waiting for thunder and Pat.
Hold on. Okay, I guess I'll go. I am Nyxor. It's a blue dragonborn druid. Hermit. He lives just outside of Wakota. He's 15 years old. He's like 6'3", 255 pounds. He has lots of sisters and brothers.
A whole brood of them.
Yeah, a whole bunch. Let's. I am a chaotic good, but super friendly. He will only go chaotic if people mess with his friends or family. That's the only time he'll go nuts on you.
And when he goes nuts, run away very
Oh,
fast.
oh yeah.
Okay. I'd almost say chaotic good leaning with a lean of chaotic neutral.
No, he
He's good mostly, unless
decidedly in the good in the good alignment.
yeah, it only
Yeah.
goes chaotic if it comes up with like cultist or people messing with you.
He has to get really PO'd for the chaotic side to even show.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But once it does, run.
If we're in a fight, you may find out what it's
Got
like.
you.
Indeed.
Fun fact, my character is also chaotic good, but her chaoticness is just the fact that you never know what she's gonna do. Not that she's gonna do something bad or dangerous, but just she might be like, all right, it's time for a nap, and she just goes and gets a nap no matter what else is going on. Or, like different weird things like that. And there might be an odd situation. She'll problem solve it in the weirdest possible way.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and then Froggo.
Alright, so Perrin is basically your stereotypical wood elf. He's I don't remember how I described him. Like blue greenish eyes. For equipment wise, he's got really nice mithril half plate armor. And has a crystalline bow on his back.
Oh yeah.
Yes. You look at his bow, Leafa, and as it looks like a normal longbow, except if it was chiseled out of a single solid piece of emerald.
Yeah, and of course, Senku has his hammer strapped to his side.
Naxor has his storm tooth strapped to his back, which
Yeah.
is
Describe some of these. Oh, you can go ahead and describe it by all means.
yeah, let me grab. Oh, I didn't know. Stormtooth. Okay, it's a spear that you can use like a glaive as well. It's dark. It has a dark wood shaft to it, and at the tip, it has what was it? Like a dragon tooth, right? It was like carved, like a carved dragon tooth. Can't remember
Yes.
exactly.
The blade of this thing, it almost looks like it's took a scimitar, shortened it.
Oh,
And
a horn. Horn.
Yeah, you took it's a dark wood shaft of like a staff, but at the top of it, you recognize this is a carved and sharpened horn of a blue dragon.
Oh.
Yeah.
And as for the hammer,
yes, the hammer is particularly interesting because, actually,
Yeah. And you could like look at Nyax, so you can definitely tell he's imbued in nature and has elemental powers, kind of.
Cool. I feel like
Alright,
Naxor and Leaf are going to be some good friends then.
Oh
Really?
yeah, oh yeah.
This picture is of a giant two-handed hammer, but imagine, if you will, a like one-handed version of that.
Oh, that reminds me. Is that like Kingdom of Hearts, right?
No.
Or
Nope.
that has Kingdom of Hearts kind of vibe to me.
yeah, It's
If-
sort of like that, except isn't it like sort of one side instead of two, or is it two
No, it's a
sides?
double-sided hammer. It's just one-handed instead of two-handed.
And it's got various
feel it.
bits inside of it.
Yeah, you can see those like intricate bits inside the hammer head that are even now like sort of vibrating and turning, almost like gears or something. And every now and then, like there's a small spark within it.
Super cool. My goodness.
Yeah. What about Pippins?
Yes. The only one who doesn't have a weapon is Pippin the Halfling.
Oh, I thought he did.
Yeah, he doesn't have a special weapon.
He doesn't have a special weapon, but he is wearing really, really weird shoes.
That's his special thing.
Most
I just got some cool sneaks.
Goodness.
they are this royal purple. They're this royal purple with they look like they're made out of leather, but they have this. You've never seen like you've never seen bottoms of shoes like this. It almost looks like there's a pad or some substance lining the bottom of these shoes, which look worn and incredibly flexible, but also durable somehow. Near the top of these, near the top of these, like you've seen people walk around in either boots or sandals. This is some funky hybrid. Some funky hybrid.
Funky.
It goes part way up the ankle, and there are these two white strips near the top of the shoe.
So boondles.
I'm sorry.
So boondles.
Well, sneakers as we know them have not yet been invented, but that's exactly what these look like.
Okay.
And so introductions complete. You guys have a subdued dinner, but it is nonetheless like an all-you-can-eat feast. Magically supplied, of course.
Of course.
You all manage to get a long rest, and you wake up the next morning to Lorenta knocking on each of your doors.
I'm pretty sure Naxer's gonna be up probably before that, kind of like meditating.
Fair enough.
Roused from a nice sleep, and he's actually bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Let's go with that.
Fair enough. So you guys all wake up. Lorenta ushers you not downstairs into the main hall with the rest of the students, but to a small lounge up here that is like one side, like one the last few inches near a corner are partially missing because it's right on the edge of where it was, of what was blown open. And she has staff bring up trays of food, sits you all down and says, lady and gentlemen, there is much we must discuss.
Indeed.
Oh,
So, first of which being, what exactly do you plan to do next?
I want to take a long rest.
You
We
have.
just
We did.
Oh,
you
I missed that
just
part.
did.
Didn't we have duties in Thalicos?
We were on our way to Mount Everwood. Oh wait, didn't we do that already?
Yes. You did.
yeah, we went there.
um,
Got turned around because our
Yeah.
quarry wasn't there.
I was hoping to show off one of my spells before we did a long rest, but that's okay.
uh, we still have a mission to find Coda's daughter.
No.
Yeah.
Thing
Look
is,
at
we
the
don't have anywhere to start with that.
Yeah, what else do we need to do?
Didn't we have something to do in Thalicos?
Thalicos, if there was any place that would have the information you're looking for about this cult, more info on the god the dead god they're trying to worship, or anything, would be the Great Library at Thalicos.
I would love to go there.
The more we learn about this cult, the better.
Yeah. And of course, this morning, Sen, I think it was the saying, I did all my reading and stuff and my meditating, all this stuff like that.
Of course, I assumed. So, she says, well, if that is where you wish to go, I can assist you.
Cool.
Is
Perhaps you can actually get the drop on this cult.
Yeah, we need to end this.
She
Once and for
also,
all.
in between like sips of tea, she says, there is another disturbing thought to consider.
Lay it out.
I believe Fade said the cult had no idea you were here.
Indeed.
Well, now they do.
Well,
they were here before we knew.
yes, and I believe I believe I know how and why they were here before you.
That's not good, is it?
No, Senku, no.
I highly doubt it.
This is not good.
Have you stopped to consider the fact that your friend who is under their control might have told them your itinerary?
Oof.
He probably wouldn't know that our next stop would be Thalicos, but he would know other places that we were considering going and why we were considering.
Oh.
But he did know Thalicos was. He did know Thalicos was on the agenda.
At some point, indeed.
And he knows our entire plans for the crystals.
He would know. He would be able to tell them what to target in Thalicos to stop us. We need to get there soon.
Let's rock.
Yeah.
Indeed.
She takes another.
I
Sorry, Lifa.
my character would want to like walk up to the headmistress and kind of just softly ask her, and be like, is the best way for me to serve you in the school by going with them to take care of the cult.
She puts her cup of tea back in her saucer, smiles as she looks at you, and says, "Leafa, my child, your service," and she does air quotes, ended here upon your graduation. You have no, you're not, you owe no obligation to this academy or me. That being said, clearly there are forces at work here that are incredibly powerful, and these 5 heroes could use all the assistance they can get. You've proven yourself equally capable, comparable in skill, wit, and magical ability. Should they agree, I would ask only that you accompany them and aid them to the best of your ability.
We'd love to have you along.
I don't think you heard that. They were whispering.
She bows her head and says, "Thank you, as you wish."
She waves
And then walks off to the
"You
group.
bow to me.
She's like, I like bowing. Hiss.
This is something the headmistress has been yelling at her about since she joined the academy. She has not stopped.
She looks at you with this half smirk.
So it seems I'll be joining you guys. I'm
Cool.
excited to see the library.
I don't mind you joining. Just mind you that it's going to be really rough. Dangerous.
I don't mind fighting hard, whether it's nature, forces of the air, or people.
Then you'd best sit down. You've got some catching up to do.
Indeed.
You.
And so the next maybe hour is spent sort of bringing Lisa up to speed. This cult worshiping a forgotten deity that you know of as Lametta Tempesta is
Cool name.
going around trying to kill as many people as they can, and in blood sacrifice to the god to empower their weather manipulating magic, to sort of it's a sort of sliding scale. It's a sort of increasing slope with time. Like the more people they kill, the stronger the storms, the bigger the tornadoes, the more people the tornadoes kill, the bigger the tornadoes.
A positive feedback loop.
Yeah.
Indeed.
You would have heard rumors about this. At least one primarily elven and halfling settlement called Bryn was almost completely destroyed.
That's where Naxxor really became chaotic when it comes to the cult.
Oh, yeah.
In a country northeast of the ALP, the country of Braylon, the capital city Nessa was struck by a single large and violent one of these things that broke down the city walls.
There was nothing we could do except hide.
Yes.
We lost the entire caravan we were sworn to protect.
That was basically rephrased in Britain.
Yes.
And I feel like my character would have even heard about it either through the plants or the animals or like being somewhere close in the area because she seems to wander a bit.
You're a traveler, so this would have more been, hearsay and whispers that you would have picked up in villages.
Exactly. So now she's hearing the real facts from these guys.
Yeah. It's not
Yeah.
quite. I mean, it's at the risk of sounding like a dick. You're not quite you're not quite at the magical level where you can talk to plants, at least not without the aid of a spell.
Yeah, using a spell. I have a spell where I talk to plants.
Oh, then
Oh.
She's like, I literally
What
do it right
up?
now, okay? Let me show you. You're like,
Oh.
Nyxor.
Nestor. Nestor's like, I'm sorry, but talking to plants, it's a load of baloney. She's like, no, I'll do it right now. He says he likes you.
I
Yeah,
am.
because you have
I can hear her laughing.
animals at this very second.
Unfortunately, sorry.
As I think, sadly, talking to plants is nope. You do have that. That's third level.
Yep. Unfortunately, plants only have, so to speak, memory a day back, so I can only get info from them from a day, like up to a day ago.
Yeah. So it
So.
mostly would have been rumors and stories about this weird phenomenon where clouds reached down from the sky and tore up the ground in their wake.
All the plants got sucked up into it.
Yeah.
She's like, it's raining flowers.
Come out of the sky.
Yep.
So.
And even the info I would have gotten, none of it would have been as to the real cause.
Yeah.
It would have been primarily plants and animals. She doesn't really seek out humans.
At least one animal would have described an unearthly howl from the town of Nessa.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yep, she can also talk to animals.
Yeah.
Okay. So, as you guys are talking, she says, perhaps it may be best then to try and head them off and avoid them by going where they are not.
Oh?
Where are they not going? There's
Well,
seem to
you
be
know
everywhere.
they're headed for, thanks, assuming we're correct and Bourdain has divulged your itinerary, they know you're headed for Thalicos.
So they could
I
attempt to
suggest you not go there, at least not immediately.
Sort of like change plans?
Yes.
feign
Now,
east, strike west.
exactly, Senku. Now, and she unfurls a map on the table. Thalicos is 3 days ride south and southwest, where the plains sort of transition into a marsh. Now, I propose you think at least, I propose you think at least somewhat hard on where the next one of those crystals would be.
I heard one's in an ocean.
We could
Ooh.
possibly go to the ocean one.
Yes. And I can make us breathe underwater. Let's go.
Well, it's not just that, but
Well,
the Eye of Ages, was that the wind crystal?
Yes. She looks at you and sort of raises an eyebrow, looks towards Nyaxor, and says, "What limited knowledge I have, these the crystals' locations correlate to lines in a sort of poem, and
Yes.
Senku says, within the source of flowing ice to the party.
she raises an eyebrow.
Because of
whirling beneath.
I took a note of that, by the way. And Senku mentions the bard actually mentioned one of the lines of the poem within the source of flowing ice.
Yeah, within the source of flowing ice, unmoored from the stream of the sky.
You're getting a few things. You're getting a few lines mixed up there, Nyaxor.
No, I'm just
But-
like, yeah, the one, and then there's another one.
Okay, so you're not necessarily reciting them in order. So Lorenta
Yeah.
looks and says,
Then there's floating among the Eye of Ages as well, too.
But that one was already found. Two of the lines could refer to the same.
No, it wasn't.
she's like, from what little I know, because I did speak. Actually, no, she wouldn't have. She's like, from what little I know or can remember, it's two lines. Two lines refer to a single crystal in one of the cases, floating among the eyes of ages, unmoored in the stream of the sky.
Mm-hmm.
I believe those reference the wind crystal.
Indeed. But don't they possibly have the wind crystal already? We don't know, but from what I've been hit by, it seems like they have something capable of controlling the wind, and it acts like a crystal, like a demented, corrupted one. And they have the gravity crystal now.
We know they have gravity.
We know they have gravity. Don't know if they have the wind.
She sort of circles her arm, and you hear a little bit of a popping sound. And yes, I am intimately aware of their possession of the gravity crystal. Thank you. I could feel its effects through unconsciousness.
So, got the one that's the ocean, and we have one that we have no idea where it is at the moment.
Renta looks up and says, "There was a line referencing an ocean."
Indeed.
And she looks and raises an eyebrow towards Nyaxor and says, "I believe you already possess that one."
Yeah, I think one. I'm so mixed up.